All right, everybody. So this simulation is called Balancing Chemical Equations. I want you to remember from the introductory video that we are now talking about respecting the intramolecular bond, which created this intermolecular force. And now that we have all these molecules in the air or in solution that are all bound together and are all noticing each other, we're now going to react them together. So there's two parts to this simulation. There's an introduction and there's the game. You're going to do both. I want to show you really quickly how to do the introduction. So in the introduction, the goal is to get a smiley face saying you did it correctly. And really to get a smiley face, you need to get the number of atoms on this side of the reaction arrow. We call those the reactants, equal to the number of atoms on the right side. We call those the products, and that is called the law of conservation of mass. And you do that by getting little numbers here in the front. And those numbers are coefficients. So for example, if I had a 2 here, that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4 nitrogens. 2 times 2 is 4. But they're coming along as the nitrogen molecule. If I had 3 hydrogens here, 1, 2, 3. That 3 stands for the number of hydrogen molecules, but that's 6 hydrogens, 3 times 2. And you can see that when you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Likewise, that's 4 nitrogens, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I put 4 NH3s here, 1, 2, 3. It's only letting me do 3. So if I put 3 NH3s here, you can see that by 3, 3, 3. Trigonal pyramidal NH3s. But how many N's is that? Well, 3 times this, that's 3 N's. 1, 2, 3. And 3 times 3 here, that's 9 H's. And you can see that by counting them here. 1, 2, 3. So you can either eyeball it. Okay, so one way some people enjoy doing it is you can eyeball it and you can say, okay, there's 2 N's there, so that means I need 2 over here. So I'm going to bring in 2 of those. Okay, so now that gave me 6 H's here, so I'm going to bring in 3 of those. Ooh, and now it's balanced. And you can see that by counting the atoms. So I have 2 blue things here, 1, 2. And I have 2 blue things here, 1, 2. And I have 6 white things here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 6 white things here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's one way of doing it. Now, notice we've broken this bond here, that intramolecular bond. So when we at once had a gas, okay, because these things are nonpolar, we now have formed a liquid. And that's really the essence of chemistry. Okay, so there's some other tools you can use that might be helpful when you do this. You can use the scale tool. And the goal of this is just to get the number of atoms the same on each side. Each side of this fulcrum here represents each side of the reaction. So for example, I just made 2 N's on this side, so I need 2 N's on that side to balance it out. So I'm going to add 1, 2. So now I've balanced out the N's, but in doing that, I've messed with the H's. So now I have 6 H's there, so now I need to go 1, 2. Oh, and it balanced. Okay, so that's one way of doing it, and the other tool is this bar graph tool. So for example, I have 2 N's here, so I need the same height over here. So I have 2, but that gave me 6 H's, so I need to bring 6 over here, and I got it. So you're going to repeat that for this reaction, the separation of water, and you're going to repeat that for the combustion of methane. After that, you're going to go down here to the game, and you're going to play level 1, where they're going to have you do it without those tools, and there's 5 challenges. Start over, you're going to go to level 2, start over, and you're going to go to level 3, and you're going to try and make it through. Again, the goal, and I'll do one of these for you so you can see. So one of those. Okay, so so I have 2 of those. Okay, so now I need to do that. So now, okay, so let's see here. So let's count. So I have 2 N's here. I have 2 N's here. Okay, so ooh, that didn't work. Oh my gosh, how do I do this? So I have, in this case, I have one, two, I have four O's here. So I need to bring in a one, two, three, four. It's four O's there. And so I think this is balanced. Let's see. One, two blue things. Those are the two ends. And one, two blue things. Those are the two ends. And then I have one, two, three, four red things. Those are the four O's. And I have one, two. Yay. And I move to the next one. So that's how you play, and you're going to go through all the challenges.